could beat them just by my attention to detail and work ethic. So I would say that's one big takeaway.
Because that's a massive change, isn't it? Coming from high school when you're the best out there and physically you can just dominate without really having to do that. Is that the biggest switch? You get to this level and it's like, oh, the film study and the walkthrough from a practice that you just talked about. That's the biggest change, right?
100%. And like the technique, in high school, I could get away with just being the biggest and the strongest and just running my feet, and I got to college and there was people the same size as me moving even faster. I'm like, whoa, what is going on,
Sure.
Definitely something I had to adapt to. I came from a smaller school as well. Nothing against my coaches at Sharpsville, Pennsylvania, but I was not ready for that level when I came. So there was definitely some growing pains at first. But yeah, I would say technique was the biggest change.
So what led you to leave after 1 year?
Yeah, there were just some personal things that transpired. Felt like it was better for me to get closer to home.
Mm-hmm.
Coaching staff changes at my area already, and then I just felt like it was good time for a change of scenery and kind of switch it up, get closer to home. This is kind of like separate from the fact, but my mother actually had a very bad stroke like within that process. And single mother and all that. So, and I didn't want to go to the team up north.
Right.
I made that kind of clear out of high school. So, West Virginia.
I think you made an excellent decision there.
We appreciate your
smart
support.
guy, right, logical, understood.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So it all turned out great, as you see.
So you portaled?
I portaled. I was like one of the first.
That's what I was going to say. Like you were a neo portal, like new, right?
I was one of the first portal guys, like way before this, like 3,000 guys in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think at the time it was like myself and about maybe 30 other guys. Yeah, like the
early adopter.
And West Virginia jumped you right off the bat when you put your name in, or how long after? Did you get nervous after you put your name and go like, anyone going to call me?
I was very nervous because and this is no disrespect to any lower level conferences or whatnot, but I was just getting all MAC and
with all due respect.
All due respect. I know some players down there that could come up here and kick butt right now, but
But you were expecting Power 5 offers.
Absolutely. I was expecting Power 5, and then it started hitting. I was getting some pretty big offers. Schools that wanted me throughout my high school process that I kind of already, didn't want to go. But like West Virginia, I didn't have the opportunity, as we just mentioned, to come to West Virginia out of high school. So when they offered me in the portal, I was very excited because I'm like, wow, I actually really wanted this opportunity from the jump.
So you come up here. Had you ever been here before? You took the visit?
Yeah, I actually visited here twice. I have memories pop up all the time.
What does that mean? Why'd you smile when you said that?
Because I was like all fat and out of shape. And
wait, you jumped ahead 2 questions. I was going to get there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I won't touch on that one too much. But I was all fat and out of shape, wearing my jersey that I wear now, and I'm like, how did I fit that thing? Oh my goodness.
So you come up here for a visit. You like what you see. You like Coach Moore.
No, I couldn't. So I came up here prior to COVID. They were recruiting me during COVID, so I had a virtual official visit.
Oh, wow. That's got to be
So thank goodness I already had a perspective of the campus or, because if I couldn't see it in person, so I was going off of how I saw it my sophomore year of high school.
How about that? I totally didn't remember that or figure that out. So you got recruited virtually. I remember they had videos and everything where they would walk you through all of the stuff.
Yep, they had like a drone go around Morgantown. You could see the PRT
I remember that.
and everything. So I was recruited via Skype or Zoom.
How about that?
Yeah.
So you say yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about that. Physically, when you got here,
you
looked a little bit different than you do now.
Man, way different. I was very out of shape. Well, especially going from freshman year 2019 to I got here in August 2020. Majority of that time is COVID. I wasn't working out at a high level at all.
Sure.
To be transparent, I was eating my tail. I was eating everything inside.
Yeah.
I was, I would still lift weights, but what is that compared to a Mike Joe workout? You know? So
right.
I came in terrible shape. And I remember, my first day here, it was a tough transition because when I got to Morgantown, I had to stay in the hotel for a week. You remember that whole situation. So my first day out of the hotel, I think it's like practice 3. So my first day out the hotel, I just quarantined for a week. And prior to the quarantine, I was sitting down at home for 9 months. I jump out at practice 3, and everyone's moving full speed.
This isn't going to go well.
Man, I just had to rely on my effort and strain. Coach Moore and Coach Brown can tell you, like, when I first got here, I was just going as hard as I can, doing the wrong stuff, but just going at 100 miles per hour. That was my only hope. Just to show them that
you were trying.
Yeah. That was my only hope, man.
Kind of like a boxer who may be who might be outclassed, but you were just going to go, fine, I'm just going to brawl and just continue to throw haymakers. It doesn't matter. If I'm going the wrong way, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go hard.
Quite literally. I think I got in like 3 fights that first week
Really?
I was here. Yeah.
Against who? Who's causing problems for you?
Oh man. I think I had a couple friendly tangles up with Jeff Pooler.
Oh yeah, sure. Remember him?
Jake Abbott.
And
then Jarrett Bartlett. This is all within like 4 days of me being here. All 3 of those guys can tell you. But just because, like the whistle will blow, I'm still driving my feet. Like I said, I didn't even know the play. I just knew
driving.
I'm going as hard as I could.
Yeah.
Only thing I knew.
What'd you weigh when you got here?
When I got here, I was 350.
What do you weigh right now?
320.
So Neil uses code. I don't know if you've ever noticed this or not, but he has some words that he uses, so not to hurt anyone's feelings. and when guys are in a situation, and I'm struggling like all heck right now to remember, but it starts with an R. When he doesn't say we're going to rebuild his body, but we're going to. It's not reallocate, but he uses this nice way of saying the dude's body is a mess, and we gotta redo it. We gotta redo his body.
Yeah, he probably came in with that statement regarding me.
All right, honestly. So that starts how? Like, how does that process begin?
Yeah, so I going into the 2020 season, I tore my labrum like very bad. This is when I first got here, so this kind of goes into how my career is so different. I transferred, tear my shoulder. So really, I'm already in off-season mode. It's like, okay, I transferred. I'm expecting to play. I didn't even have my waiver until about week 5. Tore my shoulder week 6. So then I'm in off-season mode, as I mentioned. I think at that I had to start from the ground up. I wasn't trying to just put a bunch of muscle on a bunch of fat. I had to really lock in on my diet, what time I was eating before bed, what I was eating prior and post workout, my protein intake. So the first transition was cutting weight. I went from about 350 to about 315 within a few months.
So is that eating better things or less of things?
I would say both.
Mm-hmm.
I would say
or more
both.
of the better things.
Yeah, more of the better things and less of the bad things.
Hey, just between us.
Yeah.
Like when you were really eating stuff bad, like give me something like you would absolutely destroy.
Yeah, between us and the 1,000 people watching. But
about 12,000, but anyway, go ahead.
Right. Thousands. So you said like a cheat, like something that I
like
would
like did you ever eat 4 chickens or anything like that?
Oh, like a whole box of Little Caesars was nothing to me. Nothing. If I come back, that's another thing too. Like I've been active my whole life. Like even at my biggest, like I've played sports as long as I can remember. So I would come home from practice and I would eat I would eat a lot. Like I said, look.
What's that mean? What's a lot to you?
Like I said, I'd probably have a whole pizza and then maybe some ice cream
after the pizza.
Yeah, maybe some ice cream and with
your
some
poor mom with the grocery bill, huh?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, but then so was it a struggle to switch to the eating the way you're supposed to, or did you see results right away and said, okay, I'm all in on this. I like this.
Yeah, it was. So at first it was hard because, you go from the Little Caesars to a tuna salad,
That's a big difference.
Right. But then once I saw the results and I saw kind of how my body started changing and the number on the scale and kind of how the coaches, hey, Hubbard, good job. Like, that kind of it was easy at that point because I always knew the end goal wasn't to just have a supermodel body. I was trying to become a better football player.
Right. Yep.
So once I kind of saw the number go down, the PRs go up, I kind of became addicted.
Yeah,
for sure.
3 guys before the game was brought to us by his visit is brought to us by Daniel's Men's Store here in Morgantown. Fine looking Phil. Obviously, he outfits you.
Absolutely.
I mean, he makes you look good.
He gets my size 18s too.
Yes.
Hard to find.
He's on it.
Listen,
whatever you need, he's got it.
Unconfirmed. You can confirm this. Maybe just leave it out there. Someone told me you wear a full Daniels suit underneath your uniform when you play on the road.
Yeah, you have a valid source. I have the whole suit, the bow tie,
underneath.
Yeah. Business, always business. It keeps the gut in. So
always business.
So the camera people.
You button the sport coat and then put the jersey over the top of it.
Perfectly tailored.
Yeah.
Ebo Harry, back there tailoring you.
Yeah, Harry will cut you up there.
By the way, I was just over there today working my shift.
Yeah.
A lot of new spring sport coats in.
Oh, really?
A lot of new spring sport coats.
Something maybe you could wear to a Kentucky Derby party or something
very
like that?
Very much so. In fact, Phil was getting an outfit ready today for somebody, I think, for that exact purpose.
Yeah.
I need to get more into, like, Kentucky Derby and stuff.
You need a hat with, like, a feather out of it.
Oh, yeah, like Cam Newton. Did you ever see Cam Newton's hats?
Oh, yeah.
His hats are different.
Cam's different.
He is a very unique human being.
Sure, absolutely. He has fun doing it. So that's good. Well, we appreciate that, and thanks to Daniels for providing through an NIL deal. That's not why he's here, but that's how we do it. So special thanks to Phil over at Daniels. 3 guys also brought to us by Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. What's that, you might ask? Well, that means if you're a business owner, any piece of business equipment, I say any with an A, any piece of business equipment that your business might need, they got it. And when it comes to phone systems, from 1 line to 1,000 lines, digital phone systems, competitively priced, they'll come in, give you a free estimate, and they're ready to work with you financially any way it needs to be done, whether it's a purchase, whether it's a lease, rental, whatever it might be. It's Comax Business Systems. Visit them at comaxwv.com. All right, so let's jump in here. The body changes. You do a complete body change. How much stronger are you today than you were when you got here from UVA? Night and day difference?
Night and day, man. Like,
so you work 220, you bench now 225? I mean, you guys, when you work out, like when Zach goes to the combine, they use 225 as the right? So how often do you bench?
You meaning like the 225 rep? We don't
You don't do that, do you?
Nah.
Okay, so what do you work out with when you do bench? What do you work out with?
Okay, so the last winter kind of block that we had, I finished with 385. That was my max. So I would say my working sets can be about probably about 285, 290-ish,
And you'll do how many reps and how many sets on that?
Yeah, it varies depending on what Coach Mike has for the day, but I would say 5x5 is maybe like a typical day for that. 5x5, mix that in with some maybe some rows, heavy rows, heavy shrugs, kind of do all that in one little circuit.
The strength staff is regarded as one of the best in the country, and Mike Joseph is often praised as one of the best in the country.
Second to none.
Okay, what is it that makes him special?
Passion. Easy, passion. He's so passionate. He loves West Virginia sports more than anybody. I say that. He from Fairmont, I have to give him credit. He helped me really not only change my body, but change my mindset. It's all, he has these sayings in the weight room, such as like rep integrity and whatnot. And he really means it. It's not a gimmick. If anyone knows Coach Mike, he's not for the social media or none of that. He's really focused on maximizing your potential. And it ain't going to be easy. It's not, it won't just be a little easy transition. He definitely does test you out mentally. But if you're able to really lock in on the process